Which is British English? I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to have a shower. In this video, we're going to look at mistakes to avoid if you want to sound British. The first mistake to avoid is using take instead of have. So it's all about word choice. In the USA, they make many verb-noun collocations with the verb take. For example, I'm going to take a shower. But in British English, we prefer to use the verb have. I'm going to have a shower. In the USA, they say, let's take a vacation. However, in the UK, we say, let's have a holiday. Here, the verb and the noun are different. However, if you make this next mistake, your English is actually wrong. Which do we say? Can I take a coffee? Can I have a coffee? Can I take a coffee is actually bad English. However, many non-native English speakers say this, especially speakers from Romance languages who translate directly. For example, in Italian, prendere un caffè, and in Spanish, tomar un café, literally translate to take a coffee. In English, we only use take with coffee when we are talking about how we drink it. For example, I take my coffee with milk, or I take my coffee with 2 sugars. So if you want to sound natural in English, never go to a cafe and ask, can I take a coffee? Instead say, can I have a coffee? Can I grab a coffee? Or even, can I get a coffee? This next mistake is very common for non-native English speakers. Listen to the intonation carefully. Which do you think sounds British? Where is the toilet? Where is the toilet? When asking questions with question words, who, what, when, why, how, non-native English speakers often raise the pitch at the end of the question. However, in British English, a rising pitch with question words can make it sound like you didn't hear the first time and you need them to repeat. To sound natural in British English, we need the pitch to go down. Listen and repeat. Where is the toilet? How are you doing? Where do you come from? This is where it gets interesting. Which one is now correct in British English? Do you speak English? Do you speak English? When asking yes/no questions, we need the pitch to go up because a rising pitch leaves the sentence open, inviting the listener to complete it with a yes or no. Let's listen again and repeat. Do you speak English? Are you having fun? Have you seen this film? However, apart from yes/no questions, in British English we generally want the pitch to go down. So we don't say, oh wow, it's amazing. We usually say, oh wow, it's amazing. Dropping your pitch at the end of the sentence instantly makes you sound calm, grounded, and unmistakably British. I know so many people who speak amazing English, but they still make this next mistake. Which do you think sounds more natural in British English? It's a lovely day, no? It's a lovely day, isn't it? In British English, no sounds unnatural and foreign. And also in American English, they often avoid using question tags by using simple shortcuts like right and huh. It's a lovely day, right? Pretty cool, huh? British people actually use question tags 10 times more than Americans. So if you want to sound British, make sure you use them. A question tag takes an auxiliary, modal or helper verb, flips it into the negative and adds a pronoun at the end. It's a lovely day, isn't it? You like coffee, don't you? We've met before, haven't we? And perhaps if you visited London and you were having a casual conversation, you might have noticed another shortcut for question tags, enit. Enit can replace almost all question tags. It's freezing, enit. Enit is used for casual conversation. And did you know with question tags, intonation changes everything? You're coming tonight, aren't you? Pitch goes up. It's a real question. You generally don't know the answer. It's a lovely day, isn't it? Pitch goes down. It's not a question. You're making friendly small talk and inviting them to agree with you. So master question tags to sound natural in British English. To be honest, American movies and series even influences our English in the UK. So next time you choose a movie or series, try and find a British one. If you make this next mistake, I think it's probably because you're watching too much American TV. I have already eaten lunch. I already ate lunch. In American English, it's perfectly normal to use the simple past for recent events. I already ate lunch. I just lost my keys. Did you finish your homework yet? But in British English, it sounds strange. You need to use the present perfect for recent events. I've already eaten lunch. I've just lost my keys. Have you finished your homework yet? The golden rule is if you use words like just, already and yet, in British English we almost always use the present perfect. Someone from the USA would say, did you see the news yet? But someone from the UK would say, have you seen the news yet? In British English, don't say have you, say have you. Have you seen the news yet? Have you done your homework? Have you liked the video? Yes? Good. Okay, let's go outside and get some fresh air. Are you coming? This next mistake is about how British people use adjectives. Imagine you go to a restaurant and the food is good but not life-changing. What does a British person say? It's very good, or it's quite nice actually. In British English, we don't say very good, amazing as much as Americans. That's because in British culture, too much enthusiasm can sound fake. That's why we love to use words like quite. It softens our sentence. It tones down the adjective a little bit. Instead of she's really talented, a British person is more likely to say she's quite talented. In British English, quite means moderately. She's moderately talented. We don't want her to get too big for her boots. If someone is too big for their boots, it means they start to get arrogant and think they are the best. Another softener that we love to use is a bit. It's a bit hot today. I actually mean it's really hot, but I use a bit to soften my adjective because I don't want to exaggerate. I don't know why, but in British culture, we like to play everything down. It's a bit expensive. It's a bit boring. We actually mean it's very expensive, it's very boring. So a mistake in British English is always using very and strong adjectives. Play things down and you can sound a lot more British. So guys, at the end of this video, I managed to get out and about. My foot is getting better. In this video, we looked at some mistakes to avoid and some tips to help you sound British. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.